Hello, it's Loop Dark Snout again, and in this episode of BackBit Impossible, well, I have the fixed bottom character sets back in the BBT. They're all rolled out, everything's ready to go. I just need something to play it. So in this episode, well, I try to, patch up a previous player to make it work with two character sets. It's a bit of a challenge, but I do get it to work in the end, so let's see how it goes.
Okay, after a day of fun and bug fixing and all sorts of fun, I do believe this is, well, let's just run it. There we go. And what's it doing? It doesn't fetch from here. It's getting it from the BBT and saving it to the BBT when it's done. And of course, I have the raster split turning off when it goes back to basic, because that's what bumps this and goes back in. And actually, the basic code itself does the SYS to go to the save routine. But as you can see, watch it count up there. That's when it's creating the rollout code, when that is moving. That's how fast it does it now. Of course, after you see the image, that pause where it's zeros, that's it actually doing the sorting. So yeah, my high-speed bucket sort works in high speed. And this is off because it has to be, so that's truly it. Look how quick this thing is. Now, through the magic of editing, let's check out how quick it used to be. See? Was slow. But at the time, I didn't realize that it was a sort routine that I was basically pulling off, and now it is quite fast. Ah, good stuff. And, well, this should be finished. Well, how many hours? Well, it still is going to take hours, because like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a little more than 2 seconds. So 9,000 frames times 2, 18,000 divided by 3,600, 5 hours. I'll likely still be awake. So yeah, I'll see this thing finish. And this is, it is writing the rollout, so I should be able to play this. Oh, well, I still have to make the code that does that. Damn. But yeah, that should be easy enough. Of course, I brought in different buffers. Let's see if I got the page to show you. There we go. These are the new buffers. Yeah, I guess that's about it. You might be able to make out what's going on in the background here. This is because this is the twin character set rollout with being played by Impa Final 1.07, which is only meant for a single. It's rolling out or playing 225 pages of the rollout, and I made sure that the color unpacker is just RTS. It's not doing it, because if it does, it's going to loop and it'll stop. But I just wanted to make sure that that code is somewhat intact. And now this part is interesting. Did we run out of images? The thing is, I'm not done. Oh, there's more stuff. All right, good. I'm not done the code that's meant to play this properly yet. I'm reworking how the interrupts work, because now we got a two raster split, one here, and lots of stuff. So at the moment, I need to figure out the new 53272 values for each character set, because when it comes to here, it has to switch the character set, and when it comes to here, it has to switch the character set again, but also check for, is it time for a new frame, at which point it's a different value altogether. But I just wanted to get something happening just so I can feel a little satisfied, because now I'm going to go and decode this and come up with values that I need to for this 253272 values. But I'll be doing it in front of the PlayStation, and it'll be time for Fall Guys. So I won't be back for like an hour, I'm sure. Oh, yes. Okay, after a few hours, I'm ready to go. I've not tried this, but will it work? I bet you it won't. Oh, it sort of works. This garbled screen tells me I've got one of my buffers wrong. Because, I mean, yeah, I did some figurings, and I bet you I got it wrong somewhere. That's cool. Wow. This is the 2 character set version. Yeah, da, da, da. Man, am I pumped. It did not crash. That is insane. Huh, I'm so proud. Okay, I got to fix this. I was going to go have supper, but no, I want to get this thing going. I'm having trouble figuring it out. So what I did is did a quick hack, and I changed every single buffer value to the first pair, these 2. But I was going to do one at a time to see which pair is messed up, right? But yeah, if I make them all 24 and 26, this is what you get. And of course, that middle bit don't matter because it's just all left, right? But yeah, cool. See, I just carelessly repeated. It doesn't even matter if I made the table go farther than it needs to. Let's see if this one works. Okay, that one's not the problem either. And of course, the color is getting it from the proper place, so it's kind of like a glow. It's not really following where it should. That's okay. That's not the problem here. All right, I only got 6 more to try. This is this one. Well, the 2 is actually a 1 because I know that needs to be bank 1, but 128 and 30 isn't what I need. So what would this be? Video matrix. That's halfway in between. So it's 8. That's 128. The character set. This number should be correct. I'm going to have to think about what I've done here. It could be that there's a problem with my rollout. But then let's rule that out for now. Wait. I was getting ahead of myself. I was thinking this was the page. That's not the page. That still needs to be 2. This is not the right way to do it. I gotta try this again. This is how you debug, right? You think it through and then you fix the screw-ups. Okay, it's not that one. Let's try, well, that's 0, 1, and 2 are done with. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the only ones that I haven't tried. It's not that one either. This middle stripe is not part of the rollout because it's consistent, right? It'll do the character data for it, but the video matrix is not updated. I need one routine that puts 195 all the way to 234 on every single video matrix that I'm displaying because those remain static, and I didn't want to waste rollout bytes to do it. In fact, that might have put me over the top, and it would have exceeded 64 pages rollout. As it was, doing the rollout got close, quite close, but it never went over. Bingo, or at least one of my bingos. This one seems to be out for this. Why? Let's think about it. The video matrix, so 0, 1, 2, that should be 32 plus, this should be right. No, halfway, 8, 16. Nope, this should be right. What did I do wrong? This one seems to be messed up too. That is buffer number 5. I got a feeling possibly my player is pooched because beyond 4, it's possibly screwing up. That's good news. Maybe my rollout isn't corrupted. Buffer 6 seems to be working. It has a little twitch to it because I think I probably entered one of the values wrong when I was, rolling it out here. Yeah. And buffer 7 seems to be completely corrupted. Okay, buffer 7, that's my fault. This is supposed to be 216 and 218, and that's that. I think I found it. I fixed the buffer, the 53272 stuff, but this is how my loop is now constructed. First thing we do, queue up the video. So we're getting ready to put new things down. I had the code repeating and I decided to make one generic chunk. So I have this new thing called Watchdog. anyway, check it out. So this first bit, we check to see if the video is ending, and if so, we go do it. But so current buffer, originally it starts at 0, and Watchdog is 0. So while it's showing buffer 0, showing, because current frame is now actually displaying, it'll loop. And once it's done looping, it goes and fills buffer 0 immediately. Increment Watchdog, and then it'll do the first 4 here because we only get 4. And then an audio check, which doesn't really exist yet, although I've got, well, I'll show you how clever that is later. And then I have another one, basically a duplicate of the same code for later on, another Watchdog for 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? And 1076, it loops, it waits until da-da-da. But here's where I screwed up, because this fill buff goes and deals with the buffer that it wants to just fill right now. And it goes in with the value of A from 0 to 7, but it's not going in with the Watchdog value, it's going in with the current buffer. So if it wants to fill 0, what it does is the interrupt starts showing buffer 1, and well, current buff is now 1. It doesn't equal the Watchdog, so it goes and fills it. But it goes in with the value of 1. We want to go in with the value of 0. Simple, simple fix. Look at this. We put, Watchdog. That's it. And then I do this earlier, and it'll work. I'm sure of it. Well, I haven't run this yet, of course, right? And I'm not even going to save it. Well, I am going to save it under a new name because I am afraid of my file corrupting at some point. But let's see this sucker play properly. Are you ready for some fun? All right, please work. Oh, beautiful. I tell you, understanding your code is the key, one of the big keys to debugging. Now this, I've got to just make during the initialization, solidify that in every video matrix. And then I can insert something to count how much time I'm, wasting or waiting or whatever, just for fun to see, can the video handle the audio? Hopefully it can. It better can. See the grass? It's twinkling. Not super, super crazy. I'm sure it's better than it is. I guess we'll see, right? But yes. Oh, man. Nice. I gotta get rid of that middle part. I want to see this thing front to back, do some more tests. It's hard to appreciate with that stripe in the center. Well, it does work. I watched the whole thing. I timed it. It plays as long as it should, give or take half a second or so. But obviously this isn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to end on a final screen. Like on a black. Yep, something's hanging. Boy, oh boy, back to work. Well, I stuck in the little color blinkies. Now I got to wait 6 minutes to see if if it's still blinking like crazy or whatever at the end. Then I know it's on a loop, and that's something bad. Well, that wasn't the deal. It wasn't locking up on the color unpack. I'm trying something else because obviously the code that follows the player and tries to execute BBT code to fill buffers. Obviously, when the video is over, there's no more code to execute. So I put in a trap here. It's going to look at the first instruction that's due to be executed. And if it's not an LDA immediate, which is part of the very first things it does, if it's not that instruction, it will, it just skips it. So are we going to get back to basic nice and clean, or is it going to hang? Let's find out. We're seconds away. Whoa! That was it. But I don't know why. Well, I won't be able to list this now. But I don't know why. That's all I got. I don't know why it was dying before, because I still thought I had code in place to watch for that. Which means I don't fully understand what I wrote. But anyways, I got it this far. It's supper time. Well, I understand it. Okay. We have 8 buffers. We fill them immediately, and then we start playing. The very first one is buffer 0, current buffer is 0. And that's what the Watchdog is checking for. And it's 0, so it waits. As soon as it switches over to 1, it's now filling that. But here's the thing. My routine, let's see here. Well, the done flag. The done flag is set every time the one buffer is shown by the interrupt. It increments something, and when it finally increments a negative value to 0, 8,730 frames have been displayed on the screen, and it sets the done flag to 0, just increments 255 to 0. We know to skedaddle. But when it does the very first one, boop, it's basically 1 closer. But yet, this code, we've already loaded in 8. It's now ready to execute the code for the 9th frame. You know what I mean? So that the executing part is 8 frames ahead. And this is what I put instead as a different caution. It's looking for an LDA immediate. And that works well. Because I was trying to think, how do I get this to work? And it's actually easier than I thought, just by looking for this LDA. And if it happens to be there by pure chance, well, Crash City, right? But I doubt it. It's not elegant, but until I can think of a better, surefire way, I'm going to let this one slide. But at least now I understand why this wasn't working, because it was basically, it wouldn't have been set until 8 frames into the future, at which point it's already looking at 8 frames of crap. So that's why. Okay.
So I got the video looking good, but it's not finished. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is time to move on. And in the next episode, I begin the initial work on the audio. It's about time, isn't it? So, until next time, I'm Loop Darksnow.